The third issue that we spoke to your pastor Chaitanya and Janet was regarding the volunteers. Now, volunteers in the church has concerns. They had certain issues that they felt should be addressed. Now, most of you know the kind of work that is involved in the church every Sunday morning. In fact, throughout the week as well. The kind of work the volunteers do on Sunday morning. Not many of you have appreciated, not many of us have appreciated it, but they do it without even anyone asking to do it. The commitment they have shown, the kind of importance they give on Sunday mornings, I think none of you will ever know it. People they come in the morning at 6 o'clock. Initial days of elementary, they used to come at 4 o'clock and they used to stay back up till 3:30 in the afternoon to make sure everything is packed up and kept. That's the kind of volunteers that you are blessed to have in this church. But are they treated well? Nope, they are not. There are a lot of scenarios where they were disappointed by the behavior of your pastor Janet, the behavior of your pastor Chaitanya. And during the pandemic times, there is not even a single Sunday went by without getting scoldings from them. They take a risk to come every Sunday morning, even during the pandemic, but what they get in return was discouragement all the time. Now when the volunteers came to us and told, Anna, we are really discouraged, all that we wanted from pastor is encouragement, we are not getting this. And we also noticed how we are treating our volunteers, so we decided to talk to them. So we called them on 28th January when they came to our house. This is one of the issues. Now for volunteers, I want to give you a background here. Now, fifth anniversary of Capstone, I always remember it because that's when I came to this church. Now that's when we were having a 5th anniversary and it was called Fingerprints. Now I was always amazed by the dedication volunteers had during that season. Now anytime I used to go to this office or church, I've always seen volunteers, hanging around, preparing and doing stuff for the event 5th anniversary. That's anytime I used to go to the church, volunteers are there. They used to finish their work, come back, stay there, prepare themselves for the event, or get the all the decoration items, whatever they want to do it, all the ideas they want to implementing it. So they were working on it. Exactly 5 years later, for 10th anniversary, we as a church were asking people to come and volunteer. I always had a question, why? What went wrong in that 5 years? And I did brought that concern to your pastor Chaitanya and Janet long ago. And this time also we bought the same thing. And here are the issues that we reported. That the volunteers are not happy. They feel that your pastors Chaitanya and Janet are authoritative. They feel that they are not being encouraged by them. Most of you know how Janet keeps her face and how she expresses her thoughts or whatever she want to convey. I understand that, but you got to understand that not everybody will take it positively. Some of them were very badly hurt by the way she spoke to them. And your pastor used to always scold every Sunday morning when he used to come for before the devotion. There was probably not all the Sundays, but almost every Sunday they heard scoldings. Now when I addressed to the pastors, I said, see, I think something we have to address. They're not happy about it. And your pastor Chaitanya and Janet, they asked me, Selvin, you cannot make generic statements, tell us the names so that we can talk to them. Now I said it is confidential because they came to me and told about it. I cannot tell it to you. But they made a statement, say, unless you tell us, how will we know it? We will pray and then take it in prayer and then talk to them. I fell for that statement. So I mentioned the 4 volunteers' names, which I don't want to mention in the video. And I mentioned these are the people who are really badly hurt. And they said, okay, fine, we will talk to them. And one of the other issues that the volunteers raised was food. Now your pastor Janet, at least a couple of times, she mentioned or she told me, and I have heard her telling this, that what is wrong with us here? We are giving them food every Sunday. and some of the volunteers were really hurt. And they came to me and said, Anna, are we coming to this church to eat food? Don't we have food at our homes that we have to come to church? And most of you also would have seen how your pastor gets angry on the stage at the production team. You don't know the struggles that they go through. You don't know the kind of effort they put in. Even not many of them are skilled, but they make every effort to make it happen. But you all know, you all have witnessed how he gets angry on the stage, which is acceptable sometimes, but not all the time. Now, when Janet mentioned this, people were really hurt. Well, now, I did speak to your Pastor Janet, and I mentioned this word very clearly, that Anna, this topic is cheap to discuss, but I think they are not happy with the food that we're serving. Now, when we came to Lemon Tree, initial days, Lemon Tree did not allow us to get food from outside. Either you have to eat the food given by Lemon Tree, you pay for it, or you go out and eat. So, initial days, when we moved to Lemon Tree, Pastor Chaitanya and Janet, as a church, was spending 15,000 rupees to get the food for the volunteers for both breakfast and lunch together. Now, the food that we're getting in Lemon Tree was not that great. Now, I'm sorry to say this. At the end of the day, food is food, but because of the tiresome that volunteers go through from morning, from 3:30, 4 o'clock, 6 o'clock, they are there till evening 3:30. The hunger, their tiredness, they want to have some good food. Let's talk facts. We all want to eat good food, at least on Sundays, right? So they were spending, and it was us. It was me. I spoke to Chaitanya and said, we can we get some good food? Let's go out and eat. And a couple of weeks we did go out and ate, and we did get those bills reimbursed. Now, Lemon Tree agreed to get food from outside, and that's when myself and my wife Priya, we both, not just us, I think even other volunteers did their part in finding out the better places to get the food from, and we tried to get the right codes. And we did talk to a couple of hotels, and because we keep visiting those hotels, we know the rates for biryani and stuff like that. And we did got the proposal to your pastor, and I asked him what is the budget for lunch on Sunday, and he says 3,000 rupees. I was taken back because you were spending 15,000 rupees for last couple of weeks, and now you're saying 3,000 is a budget. Fine, we can live with that, and we try to get better deal within that budget. And morning breakfast we used to get from Burger King. Now we inquired about it, and not many people know it, but we want to tell it now that it was sponsored by us, breakfast, and one of the other couple of volunteers in the church as well did it. Does your Pastor Chaitanya know about it? I don't think so. He knows it. He doesn't care about it. Anyway, so my point here is we want to give the best, and when the volunteers from 15,000 rupees they have to come down to 3,000 rupees, we try to give the best. But they got some vendors, the food was not that great. I mean, at times your Pastor Janet did not eat the food because she didn't like the food. And how can you expect volunteers to eat that food? And I told Anna that, see, we have the capacity to give better food. Let's give better food. At the end of the day, what they want is a good food. Not that they're coming to have food, but at least we can, appreciate that in that way that, you guys deserve better and get a good food. Now, the third issue that the volunteers had was that they're not getting the word. They told me, Anna, we are not able to connect to the word. It's been 2 years, and even some of the worship team members also had the same concern. Now, when I brought this concern to your Pastor Chaitanya and Janet, both of them, they said, how come they're coming to church? If they're not getting the word, they should stop coming to church. Why are they coming to the church? That's not the answer I expected from pastors, at least. Well, I said, see, Anna, they also say that you are preaching from some books, and you get to hear some sermons from somewhere else. And the statement that he made to me was, yes, I get to preach from some books. I take the context and I speak it in such a way that which will suit my church or how our church needs. I said, fine, but this is the feedback. And I also mentioned that even the worship team members are not getting the word. Then Janet, she says like this, and how come Selvin, they come and perform every Sunday morning? And for that I was really disappointed. Now I disagreed to her stating, I disagree to that, because we don't come to perform every Sunday morning. Worship team is not performing. Now as pastors, you say that we are performing. What about the congregation who come every Sunday? If you think we are performing, I mean, we might be, but from my perception of, to me, we are mocking God every Sunday morning. Is that what you're saying? That we are mocking God? If you say we are performing, why didn't you stop us? Why didn't you ask us that you're performing anytime? You never told us. Then I told we are not performing. I know the commitment every worship team member has. They get up in the morning at 4:30 and 5 o'clock, they come for practice without miss. Sometimes they do miss, but the commitment they showed, I don't think so they are coming to perform here. I said I disagree to that statement. We are not here to perform. We are here to serve. And if worship team is not happy, then why are they serving? It's a feedback that the volunteers gave. So these are the issues that we brought up to your Pastor Chaitanya and Janet regarding volunteers, and we did tell them that we had to look into this, and they did tell me that they will look into it. But what they have done after the meeting is not correct. I never asked them to fix the problems immediately. It was our responsibility to share the feedback that we got to know, that we've seen with our own eyes. But they have taken into a different different mood. I don't know what to say it, but they got offended, and the persons, the names that we given to them. In fact, after that meeting is done, Janet messages me stating that it is very confidential. Whatever you tell the names of the people, I say it is confidential. I still told her, and she mentioned the statement, rest assured that this is locked in our hearts. We will not tell to anybody else. Lie. Whomever the names that we mentioned, at least a couple of them, they called. And those two boys whom I mentioned, one of the boys calls me and says, never again take my name in the meeting. He was tortured over the call by Janet. The way Janet speaks, you all know it. I don't have to say it. He was offended, and he told me, Anna, they're not going to change. Let's not worry about it. But next time, please don't take my name. She is bothering me. Is that how we treat your volunteers? People who give their time week after week, weekends and Sundays, is that how we treat your volunteers? Because we question them, they remove us from church. I will talk about the fourth issue in the next video.